Kia tau te rangi Maraea kei rungi a koutou i tēnei wā. E ngā mana, e ngā reo, e ngā rauranga tira mā, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Nau mai hara mai ki roto i te whenua o Ngāti Whātua ki ora ake. Ko maunga kia te maunga, ko wai te mata te moana, ko mahuhu ki te rangi te waka, ko tumutumu whenua te marae, ko apihai te kauau te taua te tangata. Ko Lance Robb toku pāpa, no Ngāpuhi me te aroa, anei toku māma, ko nā huia Hawk Robb toku māma, no Ngāti Whātua o Rākei me Tainui. Tēnā koutou. Anō hoki ko Campbell Riley Green taku tamaiti, ko Mahia Tāhere Mokaraka taku tāne. Tēnā koutou katoa. Nō ku te whiwhi, nō ku te honore ki te tū, mo te iwi o Ngāti Whātua. He pātai tēnei ki a koutou. How do we address intergenerational trauma in Māori? Me whakaro, tātou. Tuatahi, te tiro whakamuri. Let's look back at our history. We know our history. We know about colonisation, imperialism, and the negative impacts it has had on tangata whenua, tangata Māori. Earliest Pākehā explorers, Abel Tasman and James Cook, arrived looking for resources and found it here in abundance in beautiful Aotearoa, New Zealand. They later returned with ships full of our Pākehā brothers and sisters. Pākehā law, assimilation and conflict took effect on tangata whenua, tangata Māori. Our Māoritanga condemned in the pursuit to make us more civilised and to have power over us. Our language, our whenua, our people and our ways of being and doing compromised greatly. Trickery with bargaining and misinterpretation seemed to give settlers the upper hand when trading and working out land disputes and sales. This disrupted the order in which Māori operated. We know that because of oppression, tangata whenua, tangata Māori, in many respects, lost the means to maintain and live out our tūturu tino rangatiratanga. Can everybody say tino rangatiratanga? Ka pai. Our means of aspiration, suppressed by the extinguishing of our cultural capital, urbanisation breaking down the whānau unit, and institutional racism keeping us from prospering. Sorry. Kone? We have seen the impacts of oppression through generations today, and it reveals itself frequently in the media, in our communities, our homes, right in front of our eyes. We know that Māori are overrepresented in our statistics: homelessness, unemployment, poverty, criminal justice, health inequities, alarming numbers of suicide, and whānau struggling with complex mental health and addiction issues. We know that many of our people are in distress. We know this, traumatised by their experiences growing up in broken homes or in the system, abused, bereaved by loss, fatherlessness, and carrying the trauma from those before them. The outcomes of intergenerational trauma is that it keeps on going and has a far greater negative effect on our tamariki mokopuna. The question is, how do we interrupt and address it? The importance of spirituality, or wairuatanga. Can everybody say wairuatanga? Kia ora. Ooh. She's beautiful, eh? Here in Ngāti Whātua o Rākei, our unique history acknowledges our spiritual whakapapa. Here are a few examples. Tumutumu whenua is one of our tupuna. He was a tree stump. A tree stump. A po. How significant considering our history to have a tupuna who was a po and a spirit-created entity and is the name of our marae. Our whakairo tell stories of taripo and kui, they too being spirit entities. My tupuna, Titahi, prophesies the coming of the Pākehā. He was a gifted seer. This taonga has been handed down through generations. Our culture, richly immersed in tikanga and kawa. Tikanga and kawa as we know it, helps maintain order and balance between the spiritual and the physical world as they coexist. Our karakia, waiata and traditions place prominence on the spiritual world and is practiced in our everyday lives. In terms of Maori and Christian spirituality, they have come to exist in harmony with slight difference in tikanga and interpretation leading back to our supreme atua. Some Māori may not agree with us and feel more inclined to follow Māori deities, and some might not follow Māori spirituality at all. Yes, there are Māori atheists, I found them. Everyone to their own. Pāhenare Tate referred to Māori spirituality as being about the ultimate goal, to know thyself and why you are here. This means that identity and purpose are key. In terms of Māori models of health, there is emphasis on wairuatanga. The well-known Māori model of health, Te Whare Tapawhā, ko ringi ringi, ko taku mama, eki, ko taku pāpa e ringi mai, ke he koe mama. The well-known Māori model of health, Te Whare Tapawhā nā tā Mason jury, refers to Te Whare as the person and helps us to understand Māori holistic health. Each dimension represents a part of us, and if one dimension is out of balance, the others are affected. I believe that primarily if our spiritual identity is strong, our lives are lived in a positive way. However, because our spirituality has been tainted by oppression, we became tapu, restricted, limited to achieve the ultimate goal. This, I believe, is the real trauma. This is why our people have been living in distress. The trauma incurred spiritually has affected our total well-being and has been passed down through generations. Tēnā koe, ko taku tūpuna tēnei. As you would know, Ngāti Whātua mana whenua here. Everybody knows that, eh? Now you know. This is our place of standing, our tūranga waiwai. Our spiritual whakapapa embrace its own unique āhuatanga. This is because of our history here. In the early 1800s, through conquest and consolidation, mai tupuna apihai te kauwau, and our people settled here in Tama ki Makaurau. In 1840, around the time of Te Tiriti, Apihai invited Governor Hobson to reside with our people for protective purposes. In good faith, Governor Hobson was gifted 3,000 acres of land, which is the CBD, right here. He was to develop the city and in return give back to our people and ensure that our land and we were kept safe. We then gifted more land once residency was established. However, nurtured relationships were lost when government moved to Wellington post the Constitution Act. This left Ngāti Whātua in a vulnerable position. Ngāti Whātua were betrayed by Governor Hobson and were left without protection. If that wasn't bad enough, a sewer pipe was built and went straight through Okahu Bay and in front of our papakainga, destroying our fishing grounds. In 1938, Tamaki Drive was built over the sewer pipe stretching right through to Kohimarama. Taku kuia tēnei. E tōku pāpa, a tōku koro, a me taku matua keke. In 1951, our papakainga was demolished and burned because it was considered an eyesore and they wanted to make a good impression on the Queen. In 1976, the government planned to use Takaparafo Bastion Point, land that had been taken for defence purposes but never used for the purpose to build high-rise, high-income housing. My people had enough. We protested and occupied Takaparafo Bastion Point for 507 days. During this time, one of my cousins, Joanne, daughter of Mero and Alec Hawke, passed away in a fire. This was a tough time for the whānau, but it gave more mana to the people to continue to stand. Finally, after a long fight and negotiations with the Waitangi Tribunal and Crown negotiations, Takaparafo Bastion Point was returned to my people. Nevertheless, the injustices and insults have caused immeasurable harm. Tēnā koutou. Ka ti tiro whakamuri anō ka kite tātou i ngā tau o tātou te iwi Māori. Although there are parts of our history which convey a story of adversity, we also have a story which conveys the mana, kaha and wairua of who we truly are as a people. We have the fighting spirit in our DNA. What are we fighting for? For freedom and power to be who we were meant to be, tino rangatiratanga. Throughout time, we have had many strong Māori leaders who stood against the oppression, ka tū rātou mo te iwi Māori, and today there are many more Māori leading in multiple spheres of influence, from all generations and all lifestyles, doing what they can for our people. I recall a number of Māori activists, tohunga, prophets, politicians and academics who were revolutionary. Hone heke, te whiti, te kōti, T.W. Rātana, Rua Kienana, Su Apirana Ngāta, Te Puia, Te Āriki Nui Te Ātairangi Kahu, Dame Whenakupa, Eva Rickard, Tama Iti, Peter Sharples, Tama Sinjuri, Maori Marsden, Rangi Nui Walker, Pihopa Tāmaki, Panya Newton, and Uncle Joe Hawke. Tēnā koe, Uncle. Uncle Joe had a fire in his belly. He was born at a time where he saw firsthand the injustices and colonial oppression. He witnessed the cruel and insulting eviction of our people and the burning down of their houses right in front of his eyes. These experiences gave Uncle Joe the fire to stand for the rights and mana of our people. His life force was powerful and moved thousands to stand against the might of the oppressor. He led the occupation at Bastion Point with a conviction that was uncompromising. He never gave up. He kept fighting for the cause. Hoi anō, he aha te mea kia whakakahangia Uncle Joe mā, kia tū. Ko rātou wairua, rātou Māori kei roto i a rātou. So what is that? Our history tells us about our Māori leaders. They have strong spiritual whakapapa, uncompromising, a strong sense of identity and a duty to te iwi Māori. They were free from restriction. Tēnā koe, Ati. Ko kiri whakamua. In my own healing journey, I was able to return to my papa kainga. This was significant to the restoration of my wairua and my whānau. During that time, there was a shooting in Aotearoa. It raised alarm bells to the ongoing dysfunction and distress our whānau were experiencing. My auntie Mere Tipene, who has since passed on, formed a committee of whānau to address the issues that were happening in our iwi. At this time, I had been in recovery for 4 years and working at Odyssey House. Tēnā koutou, Odyssey House. She invited me along to a hui. Following that hui, my auntie said to me, Maraea, you need to do something. Bring something home that will help our people heal. And she walked away. I was like, me? What? That's how she was. As years went by, I was introduced to a model called Heal Me, Heal Life, Heal Others, which is facilitated through the Legacy and Man Up programs. At that time, I was dealing with the aftermath of brutal domestic violence. In many ways, I was doing well. I had my son, a career, whānau, but a deep part of me was lost, trapped, stuck. And I could see the pain in my whānau. Legacy helped me to identify and expose the root cause of my pain, my mamae, and the thoughts and behaviour that were attached to it. It brought the hidden into the light. I was able to open up and be honest without being judged. I learned how to protect my whatu manawa. Everybody say whatu manawa. Kia ora. Which strengthened my internal world, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. As a result, my external world changed, where triggers that used to affect my everyday life no longer had the impact it used to. I I heard from other women who had experiences just like me. They empowered me. They gave me insight, and they loved me through my pain. Each time, a deep part of me was being set free. Through this process, I reclaimed my identity from being a victim to a victor and found my purpose. Now I'm supporting other women everywhere and my whānau to do the same. I've noticed that my whānau have been positively impacted by the example I set. Not perfect, but much happier and functional as a whole. Heal Me is working and taking care of you first, healing from the inside out. That then gives you the kaha and the mana to start to heal life. Healing life is within your own sphere, whānau, close friends, work colleagues. By default, Heal Others takes place because others notice the change they see in you. They see you are different, that you have overcome challenges, and they start to think, hey, maybe she or he can help me with my whānau. Anō ringi mai te waia. You notice more in the community how you can help others by sharing your successes, your story, your life. It becomes a lifestyle. Legacy is a spiritual kaupapa which acknowledges the source of aroha and the kaha of atua, ihu karaiti, me te wairua tapu. It embraces values such as whānau, hapu iwi, notions we as Māori thrive in. There may be a little apprehension about this kaupapa, considering it was birthed from the very controversial Hāhi o te Ōrakahanga, Destiny Church. Hoi anō, the fruit speaks for itself. Thousands of Māori and whānau have been transformed through this kaupapa. The hard basket cases have dramatically improved their lives and the lives of their whānau. It works because it addresses the wairua, the spirit within, the epicenter of who we are, and it is interrupting intergenerational trauma to start generational blessing. People from all walks of life mobilise to reinstate the tino rangatiratanga within their bloodlines, their whakapapa. Personally, facilitating legacy on Ōrākei has been extremely fulfilling in the sense that I followed through with a noble task my auntie gave me, but more so knowing that I am helping generations, igniting the fire within to pursue and live out one's tino rangatiratanga. This kaupapa is a koha from one iwi to another. Ooh, that's my son. He's the man. It's important to remember that many Māori-led initiatives started from the ground up. Just like in Ōrākei, Uncle Joe made a decision to stand for justice for the people in solidarity with the hapu because the government couldn't be trusted. And we can't wait. And like our history, while there have been parts of my life that have caused me pain, there are parts which have been great blessings. Even the parts that hurt me have blessed me. A spiritual and generational approach has helped me to live my best life, never perfect. But my wairua is strong, my identity is strong, and I know where I'm heading. It starts with one person. My dream is for whānau to foster generational ōranga so that our tamariki mokopuna will be strong in spirit, strong in their identity, and flourish. Therefore, in answering the question, how do we address intergenerational trauma in Māori? Whakamana te wairua, whakahaua te tuakiritanga, whai atu te koronga, kia whakatika te tangata, kia ore te whānau, kia ore te hapu, kia puawai te iwi. Strengthen the spirit, renew the identity, find one's purpose, which in turn brings order to the person, well-being to the whānau, well-being to the hapu, which will prosper generations. Nō reira, he whakatauki tēnei I hāngai au. Oh, he hāwhi. Nō reira, e tū. Heru hapainga, mo āke tonu atu, haumie, huie, taekie, tēnā koutou katoa.
Tēnā tātou. Ngā mihi atu kia koutou katoa. Ngā mihi atu ki te Maraea kura. Tēnā koe e Maraea. E whakawhānui hea te wawata o tātou a Ngāti Whātua I roto I te wairuatanga hei uhia mai wangani a tātou. Nā reira ngā mihi atu kia koe. Hei whakamārama atu ki te tini, te mano, te ngākau āroha. I roto I te whāinga o te oranga. Nā reira ngā mihi atu kia koe. Tēnā koe, e te Maraea kura, e tōku nei whanaunga. Kia ora rā. Kia ora everybody. Woohoo! Good luck following that, eh? Ka pai. I think, ko wai au. Titiro. Ko maunga kia te maunga. My koro greeted you all as you entered into the shores of the Waitemata here in Tama ki Makaurau. My koro is maunga kia. He is the one I bow my head to every day. He is the one I acknowledge every day. He is the one who tethers me in place and space every day. Ko te Waitemata, as you heard from my whanaunga, our natural cupboards, our food source, our sustenance. It is a body of water that has sustained us as a people for millennia. I acknowledge and see that every day and share that with you. Ko māhuhu ki te rangi. Ko tērā te waka. E ruanga kōrero. We have two narratives here in Ngāti Whātua in terms of our mana whenuatanga. You have heard one with Tumu Whenua, our beautiful tupuna whare that is sitting there. And we also have our migration kōrero. Our tupuna kōrero that ties us to the rest of the motu whānui. And that was headed by Rongomai, who brought our people across from Hawaii to Whātua Nuku, Whātua Rangi, here in Tama ki Makaurau, Aotearoa. For us, Ngāti Whātua refer to Aotearoa as Whātua, as Nukuroa. And our waka helps us maintain our relationships to our whānau in the Pacific. Helps us to realize our manaakitanga, our responsibility as rangatira, our rangatiratanga. Can we say that again? Rangatiratanga. Ka pai. Our responsibility of manaki to all of those who inhabit the shores that we have the responsibility of servitude over. Ko Ngāti Whātua te iwi, ko tātou tēnei. Anei, you see the intergenerational richness that sits here on, on the stage in front of you. Ken opened up with e hara I te toa taki tahi e nari I te toa taki tini. My success is not born of myself, but of the multitudes. And we heard earlier, intergenerational trauma can be passed down. We heard earlier that through rightness of relationship, we can also look at passing down the ease and handing that on to our generations. Ngā oho, te tāu, te uringutu are the three hapu that form Ngāti Whātua o Ōrākei. Ngāti Whātua o Ōrākei stands here proudly in front of you as an example of resilience through diversity. Adversity. Diversity is not so bad. We had a number of our whānau here at Ōrākei Marae yesterday. And there we were able to light the fire once again. Our ahi kā we were able to share our whaia with those who came into our rohe, to once again invigorate their story so it becomes our story. We're adding to the tapestry that is well-being through the lens of Ngāti Whātua. Ko waio. As I mentioned, these are the symbols that I attach myself to. I am a servant of my people and proud to be so. I am the youngest of a family of 11. I consider myself to have had a well-balanced, however challenging, childhood. I was in a perpetual state of confusion. How can you be balanced in confusion? Pretty simple. I was very good at understanding both paradigms. I understood when I was at Dilworth, Pākehā boarding school over there in Hermuera. Some of us couldn't go to the Māori schools. I understood I had to be away. I had to put aside me to be what I needed to be there. And when I came home, I was able to put on the clothes that fit me. Yeah. I learned a lot about my whātuatanga and our standing as a community, as one people. He whānau kotahi ai nei. Hey, koera te kupu a Hobson. Hey, that was the statement of Hobson after the signing of the treaty. He whānau kotahi tēnei. We are one people. Only one side of us had to learn how to work and walk in both worlds. So I'm here today to build on the wonderful imagery, the challenges that Maraea placed in front of you, to let you know where we are today. And I do that from the position of servitude. I am a director on our Whaimaia board, which is our social development arm. So we have a 3-trust system here. Actually, before I kick into that, I want to talk a little bit around the tākoha that Apihai Te Kauwau gifted. I think we glossed over that a little too easily. We moved on too quickly over that. When Maraea mentioned that 3,000 acres was gifted to a fledgling nation already within a system that worked well. We provided a space and a place for a foreign system to grow. For a foreign system to work with us, not against us. Ngāti Whātua o Rākei, after the gifting of that whenua, the 3,000 acres and the loss of a 60,000 acres more, went from being landlords to landless in less than 100 years, becoming wards of the state. This is a story that needs to be told, it needs to be heard, and it needs to be shared by those of you who are bringing well-being to our communities. We understand that our Māori population are the highest users, in most cases, of the services that you provide. We need to be brave and courageous. We need to challenge ourselves, our organizational structures, so that we can serve the communities that we all profess to be reaching. Through that adversity, Ngāti Whātua o Rākei are emerging into a new economy. And this is where we are today. I just wanted to let that sit a little bit, because I thought sometimes we get caught up in letting things move forward too quickly. Hey, titiro whakamuri, anga whakamua. We need to understand it before we can move forward. We need to keep it in front of us. Because there's amazing innovation out there. And we're gun shy to grab what you're giving us. Ngāti Whātua o Rākei has our Matua Trust. I just want to go through this quickly. Our Matua Trust are elected by our people. And we have consultation with our whānau who are all over the world. We inhabit every part of the spectrum that is out there, just like any other community. A responsibility that we have that no other community has is our manaakitanga, our rangatiratanga. When Api Te Kaua gifted the 3,000 acres that is the current CBD today, that was to address the alcoholism. That was to address the domestic violence. That was to address the inequity within the Pākehā community. We gifted an opportunity to deliver well-being to a community we didn't understand. And unfortunately for us, as Maraea has pointed out, a number of things happened via successive governments that put us into a state of disparity. But we never lost our wairua. We never lost our mana. We never lost that fire, our ahi kārua. It lives here on stage today. It lives in the future generations that are coming. How is that living today? Well, today, through the actions of many of the people that you have in front of you here today. I know it's a little bit taboo to talk about commercial redress in this space, but they go hand in hand. They go hand in hand, whānau. Uncle Bobby here. The whānau we're a part of our initial claims with the Waitangi Tribunal. From that initial claim of pittance, $3 million, what is that? Seriously. It was transformed into what it is today, which is a $1 billion entity. And we today, and the reason why these are up here, whai rawa, whai maia, and our matua body, is because we see what has been developed for us hasn't been working for us for 170 years, whānau. And we're now in a new economic state of being that we can decide who is best to work with for the well-being of our people. And last year, exactly a year ago, we took the first step through our trust, whai rawa and whai maia, of implementing health insurance for all of our whānau. Across the board, all beneficiaries of tupiriri are insured, including pre-existing disorders. Let's get rid of all of those barriers, whānau. You need to see a specialist, you go and see them now. We're developing ways of being, and we're looking at how we can align ourselves better for the well-being of our whānau. And we want to work with you. We want to understand how we can align with you better. But be assured, we want to align according to our principles, our matapuna. Kia rere arorangi, ki te kahu pōkere, ki ngā taumata tiki tiki. Soar and fly to the highest heavens like the kahu pōkere. The kahu pōkere is a taonga within Ngāti Whātua. The kahu pōkere is the manu that guided our people into the shores safely. The kahu pōkere sees all. As you can see up there, our purpose is rangatiratanga. Our purpose is about understanding who we are as a whānau, how we can engage, how we bring wellness to us. And we've had a number of external services looking to deliver KPIs, trial out modalities of well-being without asking how we are. Do we have an idea? Do we understand who we are? Do you have your own models? Well, whānau, I'm here to say we do. We do. And we want to develop them too. And we're doing that, like I said, we're investing in ourselves so that we can move forward. And we need you, all of you out there, to invest not in only Ngāti Whātua o Rākei, but ngai Maori. Maori modalities is where it's at, whānau. And something I grew up with from my koro that helped me stay strong while I was in a Pākehā school from the age of 9 through boarding there, having to live another life. What he always told me was, "U tonu kia koe." Always be you. Hold on to who you are. Kia ora. Nā reira whānau, this wasn't meant to be a hammer kōrero. This is a liberation kōrero for us all. We need to liberate ourselves because our iwi entities are ready to liberate. We're ready. And we can't wait for central government. We can't wait for ministry. We need to walk with you. You're heading where we want to go. Let us help you get there. Help us design our modalities of well-being. Help us bring that and socialise that to Aotearoa. Because when things are going well for Māori and Māori are doing well, guess what? The rest of our community does well too. Whenua ki te whenua whānau. This is on my wall at Mahi. Walk in there. These are the hopes and dreams and aspirations. We don't focus on the disparities. Whenua ki te whenua. Cradle to grave. When you're born, I whānau mai. Hey, when we pass, we return to Papa, the whenua. These are all of the things that our whānau aspire to have. What our whānau understand is mokopuna decisions. Mokopuna decisions isn't always about the here and now. We need to lay a platform and get out of the way for the future. And that's what I advocate for all the time in my role as a director on our social development arm. In all the services that I work alongside, it's about having a look internally at how we can do what we do. And Ngāti Whātua is here to help you. Ngāti Whātua o Rākei, our iwi entities around the motu are here to help you. We just need to be open enough as organisations, as government entities, to say, guide us, not this is what we want to do. Nā reira i te whānau, everybody, thank you very much for allowing me to share a little bit of who we are, to let you know that the lens has shifted. The lens has shifted and we need you on board with us. We need to be having hard conversations with one another. Because be rest assured we're doing it amongst ourselves. We're doing it amongst ourselves and we're challenging ourselves to be better, to be what we need to be, and to be able to open the doors once again to assist everybody in our rohe, just like our tupuna did, Apihai Te Kauwau, when he opened up Tāmaki, this fledgling city, to heal a new nation that came into our rohe. Nā reira, koutou rā i te whānau, ngā mihi atu kia koutou katoa, tēnā koutou.